Welcome back to our channel. We're headed down to Big Bend National Park for our spring break this year. Last year we went camping at the same spot at Big Bend and we absolutely loved it. So we're headed back again for some peace and relaxation and quiet. First stop was in Alpine, Texas for some lunch. Our kids absolutely love pizzas, so we found this place called Guzzy Up in Alpine that has some great options for build your own pizzas. And it's also located in an old gas station, so I thought that was really neat. The nostalgia is definitely present, and the food was pretty decent. We were really excited about the yummy options that they had. After lunch, we headed out of Alpine and drove the rest of our way to the campsite. This place we found on hipcamp.com is very secluded and about 20 minutes north of Terlingua, Texas. We really liked it last time, so we decided to check it out again. But tonight it was so incredibly windy. When we were trying to set up the tent, it was nearly impossible to get it staked down enough into this rocky, sandy ground. With tents finally up, it was time to make some dinner. I decided tonight that I would make some chili and hot dogs, so we got all our stuff out and started cooking the chili. I just used some pre-packaged chili seasoning this time, since usually I bring a bunch of seasonings, but I didn't really want to. I had everything all ready to go, and we had a nice, lovely dinner watching the beautiful sunset. The girls even got out their telescope and decided to check out the stars. We got up bright and early to head to the window trail, so it's about 5:30 in the morning and still dark, but we hauled ourselves out of our tents to go get the best hiking views. Well, good morning. We're up bright and early. About 5:30 we set our alarm for to go hike the window trail this morning. Last night was pretty good. I think the girls got pretty good amounts of sleep. I kept hearing everything all around in the distance, from cars to people yelling at their dogs. It's just so quiet that you can hear everything, even though we're really far away from everybody. We packed some breakfast to go, things like Pop-Tarts and cereals, and we're gonna have breakfast on our way to Big Bend. It takes about an hour to get to the place that we're going to, so a nice drive in the dark until we get there. And daylight savings also happened overnight, so it's gonna be a little earlier than we're used to, but hopefully that means all the other people won't be up and going as early and we'll have the window trail to ourselves. So this trail is located at the Chisos Mountain Lodge, and the trailhead is actually a really nice parking lot, but it can get filled up super fast, so get there early. When we were leaving later, it was definitely full to the point where they had to wait for a car to leave before anybody could come in. Well, we made it to the window trail. It is still fairly early. It's about 7:58 in the morning, but the time changed, so probably most people are used to this being 6:58. But the sun is rising. Oh, it is gorgeous out here. I am just so happy. These kids are like, Mom's torturing us.
No, it's quite really nice.
It is really nice, isn't it? It's very pretty. We're looking for birds, checking out the plants, keeping an eye out for bears and mountain lions. So we're going downhill most of the way, and when we get to the window viewpoint, we're going to have to come back up. So that's going to be not as fun, but that's okay. We're still doing it fairly early. That we'll be able to not die in the heat on the way. So, yeah, let's watch the sunrise in this beautiful place. Although this hike is beautiful, it is a rough one. It's about a 900-foot hike uphill when you get back to the parking lot at the very end. The beginning of the trail seems pretty easy because it's hiking you downhill, but the return is rough. You saw your bird. You wanted to see that one, right?
Yes,
It's hopping towards you.
I think I have a blue Mexican train.
Yeah.
Oh my god, there's so many. Like, what? Who are you?
Hello.
There were 6 of them.
It's coming closer. It's like, you gonna feed me?
Let's get out some
Not only is the return of the hike pretty hot and uncovered and difficult, but towards the end where you're getting to the window trail, you end up doing some rock scrambling. So make sure you're prepared for all of that. We really enjoyed it, but it was a little nerve-wracking at some points, having to climb across some pretty narrow places that had a little bit of a drop-off. They also recommended to bring at least 1 liter of water and some stuff to keep hydrated, like electrolytes. There was definitely some horror stories that they told us about people dying on this trail, so you really, really want to take it seriously, especially when hiking alone or with children. The rock is very slick here at the window, but it was such a worthwhile place to hike because of these beautiful views. I was very happy to see the end of this. It was about 3.5 hours and close to 6 miles once we finally hit the parking lot again that afternoon. We got back just in time to have some lunch and get the girls some ice cream. Six miles.
and ice cream.
900 feet elevation gain. After our hike, we decided to head over to the main visitor center at Panther Junction. And this place is pretty nice. It has really good restrooms. It has a gift shop and lots of cool information about the area. We got to point out right there where we just hiked to, all the way over in that window trail. We enjoyed checking out the gift shop. They have lots of cool books. I wanted to find something that I can just sit down and read, but the girls enjoyed playing with all the little things where you can see different fossils. After that, we decided that we were going to go check out the Fossil Exploration Center. We didn't get to go see that last time we were there, so it was pretty neat to learn about the prehistoric history of this place and that it used to all be underwater. It pretty much looks like a ocean floor, so I mean, I can expect that this definitely would be a place to find all of these cool fossils and all of these creatures that once lived in this area of Texas. We were exhausted after all of that hiking around and being out in the sun. Even though it wasn't really that hot, we were definitely dead tired. So we drove around the park, getting some scenic drives in. Caleb wanted to find the old Maverick Trail, which is one of the easier off-roading trails, and we stopped at the Rio Grande. We thought maybe we could dip our feet in, but it definitely wasn't that inviting looking. So we kept on driving until we found the trail here. After that, we headed over to Terlingua for dinner. We wanted to have dinner at the Starlight Theater, and we found this awesome gift shop that was next door. They had all kinds of cool things in there. This old mining town that has been deserted is definitely not deserted anymore, and I find it to be a really interesting place, especially the Starlight Theater, which at one time was a theater before it was closed down and left in ruins. Later on, it was purchased and refurbished into a restaurant and hangout for the locals in town. It's become so popular that you definitely want to get there early.
Careful. Hey!
What does it say? What does it say?
Oh, hang on. Maybe we shouldn't read that. It's fine. Okay. I just read the big on the bottom. You want to read it at the top?
This year is 2099. It is in 2099. Out of here in the desert,
Our time
is
fleeting.
No
Communication
from any old
cell tower
or time
transponder
in
over
90 days. Little water and food. Found enough gems
to something the transponder for a small, and it's melted. I mean, water. The earth does not have long. If you are reading this, I urge you to share this message. Do not elect Trump again.
I want to write a message.
Juliet, I think we should put it back. We didn't make it that far with getting up early and going this morning, but that's okay.
We did get up early.
We did when it started raining.
Like 5 different times.
We definitely had a eventful night. It was very, very long. It was very windy all of a sudden and things were blowing around. We had to get up multiple times for that. And then at about 6:30, it started raining. And we didn't have the rain flies on the tents, of course, because it's the desert. It doesn't rain. We were enjoying the stars, so yeah. Then we were scrambling, and then we laid back down and realized it was 6:30. We had to get up in 30 minutes to go hiking, which we did not. We just went back to sleep till 8:30. Made breakfast, relaxed at the campsite, got cleaned up, and did some dishes and stuff, and now it is 10:52, and we are headed to go hiking.
But we found a message in a bottle.
We did. It was really cool. Autumn found it. Very neat. Balanced Rock Trail is one of the easier hiking trails, but it is full sun exposure, so if it's a hot day, you definitely want to get there early. We got there at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but the temperature was nice and cool. It's about a mile of a hike, so once you get to the end, you have to do some rock scrambling to be able to get up to the Balanced Rock, but it's still really, really cool to see the view, even if you don't want to hike all the way up to the rock itself. We really enjoyed taking pictures under it, but unfortunately, I did not record any video at the rock itself. On the way back, we noticed that it had pretty much cleared out of the parking lot, but make sure you get there early enough to also get a parking spot. Then we were headed over to the hot springs, which we had really been looking forward to. If you stop at the hot springs, they do have things for sale from the locals over in Mexico that come across the river to set their items out. So bring cash if you want to get something. This place can get super busy during the peak seasons, like right now on spring break. As you can see, there's people everywhere, but we were really excited to hop in the river. The river itself is nice and cool, but the hot springs probably get up to maybe like 105 degrees because they're pretty hot to sit into. I kind of have to get out to cool off every now and then. especially right where the water comes out of the ground. We stuck the GoPro down in the hole where the water comes out, and it was so cool to see all the colorful rocks and the water pumping out from the natural hot springs below the ground here. I never thought it would look like that down there, but we were excited to actually be able to see it. Then we headed back to our campsite where Caleb fixed the flat tire that he got on the way back in, and I made a nacho dinner with very windy conditions again. Last night was definitely an adventure. It was so windy. That was probably the windiest we've ever experienced, and hardly any of us got sleep. Well, the girls probably got sleep because they put their sound machine on this time, and I tried to put on the sound machine, but then I just kept worrying about what I wasn't able to hear because of the white noise machine. So I just turned it off and dealt with the wind instead. It got really cold. It dropped down into probably the low 40s because this morning when the sun is up it's 48 degrees. So it's very chilly today. Our sleeping bags are nice and warm though, so I think everybody stayed warm overnight except for our bases because they were exposed, but otherwise pretty good. So this morning we're headed to Espresso y Poco Mas in Terlingua. We went there last time also and really loved it. So we're gonna head back over there and then go and try to find somebody to repair the tire. When we were driving out to our spot last night, the tire busted. So we have to find a repair for that because right now we're driving on a spare. And it's not ideal for out here. So we're gonna try to find something for fairly cheap, and if not, we'll just figure it out. After that, we're gonna go to Boquias Crossing and head into Mexico and go to lunch over at Jose Falcon again, probably, because they have really good food. So let's go get some breakfast. We're all very hungry. Another kink in our plans. So Boquias border crossing is only open Wednesday through Sunday, and I looked at the hours. I don't know why I didn't pay attention, but it's closed. So we are deciding we are just gonna pack up a little earlier than we would have normally and go and stay at a little wildlife resort instead. We went on Airbnb and just on a whim to see if there was anything available, and I found a little place in Mountain Home, which is maybe an hour or so away from our house. So we thought, well, let's try it out. And the place that we requested actually was booked the night before, and they hadn't updated Airbnb yet. So another kink. And so I messaged the host, and she actually said, well, I have one cabin available that's a little bit smaller, and technically it only fits 4 people, but since we have one little kid that can sleep on the floor on her sleeping bags, we're just gonna do it. We can get showered off and relax and still do all the camping stuff we were planning on doing tonight, cooking, because they have a little fire pit and everything, but at least we'll have air conditioning and quiet, and there's a pool there and a hot tub. I don't know if it's going to be warm enough to swim in the pool, and the hot tub's 21 and up, so we'll see what it's like. So 5-hour drive, and we should get there around close to 8 o'clock. So this will be a long day, but at least we're getting it done. We had the tire fixed. The guy was really nice. He fixed it for $20, put a little patch on it, and we threw it back on the truck, and we're ready to go. Getting a little gas before we have to head out into the open road. Wish us luck. Here we go. Well, our camping adventure came to an end a little bit earlier than expected. We decided to head over here to this place in Mountain Home, which is closer to home. It's a lot colder here this morning, but that's okay. There's this nice little picnic pavilion right across from our cabin that we rented out, and we got a good night's sleep.
Yeah,
Finally.
Shout out to Cowboys and Angels for that.
Cowboys and Angels saved us. The lady was really sweet. She was like, I know y'all had a hard time, so we wanted to make sure it was good. So they had it all ready, and the water heater didn't hold out for all 5 showers, but that's okay. It came back to life pretty quickly in between. We waited a little bit longer before we showered after the kids went to bed. But yeah, this morning I decided I was going to get up early, make some food, because there's a lot of things we didn't get to cook that I wanted to cook. So I'm going to make some biscuits and gravy, some sausage and eggs, and relax here on this nice little porch. The girls are playing inside because they're too cold, but yeah, we're sitting here by the stove enjoying our coffee, and we're going to have a relaxing morning and early afternoon before we have to check out. Thank you so much for joining us on another one of our adventures. This camping adventure, although it didn't turn out the way we wanted, was a lot of fun, and we're really glad that we got to do it. Don't forget to subscribe and join us for our next adventures.